Hi everyone! Today I'm gonna have like a different kind of sketchbook tour. I'm actually dividing this notebook right here in two parts because I have like some Inktober thingies right here that I want to show you with more detail, and I don't want this thing to go like an hour, so let's start. First, I want to talk to you about a bit of Inktober, in case you don't know about it. It's supposed to be like this kind of challenge that artists do, where they draw something each day, but only using ink. It started like traditional ink, but they also do digital ink now, and you use some prompts that you can do yourself or you can follow from the internet. I'm not going to go into details about Inktober because I guess that there are like tons of YouTube videos out there, so I'll start with mine. What I actually did on Inktober was to draw the concepts I wanted to draw, like starting from September, I think, and then oh, sorry guys. wait I started drawing like the sketches and everything, and then I started inking them apart, as you can see here, and then I posted this one because this one is like the sketch thing, and this is not part of Inktober. This is like, I think they call something Sketchtember, but I'm not sure. And I actually didn't draw them like daily. I drew them like starting at the last week of September because I didn't want to miss it in case of like disease or something happened to me. So I didn't sketch them on order. And also I wanted to tell you that the prompt I followed was called Inktober Queens. So you can see here that here's the evil queen. I wanted her to be like robotic kind of thing, but I think that she's like my least favorite one. She's the Queen of Dreams. I got inspired by an artist called Wish Petal on Instagram, and I wanted to follow like her color palette. This is the Queen of Hope, and I don't know what I was planning to do with her, but here she is. This is the Warrior Queen. I was inspired by Fire Emblem in this one. I remember that on that year they got like accessories, and I liked that Celica accessory, like this one, and I wanted to put her on her. And you can see my notes here that I wanted like to change her sword to an axe and all of those things. As you can see with my drawings, I changed things like poses or something like accessories or the like, because when I was sketching it I realized that the idea that I have didn't translate well enough, so it helped me to get like a better end result. This is the Cosplay Queen. I am inspired by artists that usually use like their own concepts, so this is like what I wanted to try. And also I love when cosplayers put so much effort on armor and all details, so that's what I wanted to do with her. This is the Queen of Cosmos. I wanted to draw her like a kinda space Hinoka from Fire Emblem, but this thing is like something that Veronica from Fire Emblem Heroes uses, and I also wanted an excuse to use like silver ink. This is the Queen of Beasts. I got like heavily inspired on Princess Mononoke. You'll see why, because of like the color. I wanted to draw Princess Mononoke actually, but I didn't want to draw her as I wanted to do like original characters. This is the Queen of the Arts, and actually I if you want to see like the original one, you'll have to go to Instagram. You'll see why in a second. Yeah. I actually was torn between the idea of making her like a queen of the arts, like someone who admires beauty or someone that is art itself, herself in this case. So I wanted to go with the idea that she was art, so that's why I remember that also in 2018, that was when I did this, it was like so on trend, this kind of golden tears, and I don't know why, but everyone, including me, always thinks that tears are like so aesthetic, so that's why I use the golden things, and also the four primary colors of the printed media, that is the cyan, magenta, yellow, well in this case gold, and black. I actually don't have the original here because I gifted it, but I'll put like the scanned version here. She's Queen Bee. This is actually how one of my OCs was born. Her name is Bee, well Beatrice, but all of them call her Bee. And as you can see, I decided to draw her as a cheerleader, like the main cheerleader. This is the queen of the cards. I was like, I remember I was inspired by Whims of Fate from Persona 5, so I wanted to have her like that kind of vibe, that she was like the one who always wins all the bets. And also I drew like the main symbols of the poker thingy that I can't remember how it's called. This is the Queen of the Fairies, and here she is. I wanted her to have like lots of colors, really colorful, and draw her with this kind of harp. I also don't have her because I also gifted it. She's the Witch Queen. She's actually one of my OCs. Her name is Cindy, and like she's a witch, well, in more than one case. This is the Queen of the Sea. I wanted to draw like a mermaid, as I always like drawing mermaids, except when it's mermaid for some reason. And I did like pointillism, I think it's called that way, because I wanted her to look like scaly, but scaly pretty. This is the Queen of the Courtesans. Actually, when I started doing the challenge, I didn't know what courtesans meant, so that's why I drew her like from the last ones, because I didn't know what courtesans actually meant, and I'm still not sure what it means, but I saw people drawing things like that, so I went with it. This is the Queen of the Elements. Well, when I drew her like just because I thought elves that are redheaded are cute, but now that I see her, I think she resembles a lot one of my OCs, so I think I'll use this design for one of them. I also gifted her, I guess. She's the Fantasy Queen. That is like inspired on something I drew a while back. I think it was like a profile picture. This is a historical queen, and she actually has like a special background. I didn't want to draw like the usual, English queen that everyone draws, because like I am from Mexico and I wanted to draw something from Mexico. Well, I thought, I think our culture didn't have such room for having queens or something like that, but I found out that there was one called Ilacuatl that was at La Oltarani, it's like a governor, something like that, but it's like the closest thing that we had for queens, so here she is. This is the Coast Queen. I wanted her to look like I was torn between making her look like a yokai or a tanuki, so I kinda did both. This is the Queen of Pain. Actually, she also has kind of a backstory. I also in 2018, I remember it was like a trend to something called Hana Haki, where people who were in love with someone, they are like, well, where the other person isn't in love with them, like unrequited love, they started like vomiting flowers, like a really painful and beautiful thing. So I wanted to do something with her, but I didn't want her like just unrequited love. I wanted to do one step more. So I did her like bride to be that was almost getting married, and then she finds out that his husband to be isn't actually in love with her, and she starts like vomiting flowers. That's what like my idea was. This is the Queen of Ages, and actually I remember I was quite lost with that fact, like Queen of Ages, what is one supposed to draw? Like everyone thinks that, well, the Queen of Ages is a different person, so someone told me that I should like draw a mirror in front of her so everyone could like project the queen that they thought about, and that's what I wanted to do. I wanted the mirror to be like the central part. This is the Queen of the Forest, and I think I wanted her like to do like a cute elf. Like, I don't know, I think that the Queen of the Forest and the Queen of Fairies could be friends. They could maybe start like a duet or something like that. This is the Queen of Confection, and I actually didn't like her pose at all, so I changed it. This is the Queen of Time, and I wanted her like to give her that look that, you know, the White Rabbit from Alice in Wonderland has, that he thinks he's always late. So I wanted her to give her that look that she feels like she's always late, because she needs to be like in total control of time. This is the Queen of Night, and I wanted her to give her like a really edgy look, but also like really fancy. I wanted her to be the kind of person that knows the names of all like the drinks in the world, and that she's always like knowing, well, drinking something, but not in the way that fancy people do. This is the Queen of History. What I wanted to do with her was that she's like a maniac who's obsessed with getting all and literally all of the historical elements in the world, like a hoarder kind of thing, more than someone that admires history. She's like more of like a kind of villain that wants everything for her. The Queen of the Seasons. I honestly I didn't know what to do in Queen of the Seasons, so I ended up drawing this. I put her like elements of the autumn, summer, spring, and the thingy here, the blue cape, was like winter. But to this day I still don't like it. I think it was like kinda rushed. With the Queen of Sands, I actually was kinda stuck because I didn't know what to do. Like, Queen of Sands doesn't sound like really interesting because it's sand. Like, sand's not that interesting. But I had the idea that it would be fun, like when you are a kid, you do a sand castle and pretend to be the queen of the castle. So that's why I did this kid. And also I gave her like the bucket as a crown. This is the Queen of Knowledge, and I wanted her to look like she was like a bit crazy for doing crossword puzzles and those kinds of things. This is the Queen of the Lands. I also was heavily inspired on Fire Emblem, especially Fire Emblem Heroes. I think that it looks like a yarn, and I wanted her like to be like this kind of conqueror that wanted every land to be her own. She's actually like the arch nemesis of the queen of the warrior queen I showed you. And the last one is the queen of the river. I wanted her to look like kind of a nymph at first, but I thought it was like a bit boring, so I ended up making her like literal water and the literal river. That's why she looks like with all these watery, flowy things. And I guess this is all. I don't have any card left. Yeah, this is all for this video. For the other video I'll be making, I'm not sure if I'm posting it after or before this one, but I hope you like it, and I'll tell you how I post the next video, and see ya, bye!